Hello guys, welcome to Sid Astrology Studio, and today we will be discussing on the topic how to read a birth chart part 2. Now I have already uploaded a video on how to read a birth chart part 1. There I have explained you that how planets, how houses and different houses, planets and nakshatras plays an important part in our life. So today I will be explaining everything in detail, that what are the things, what are the points we should notice while judging a horoscope, your Janam Lagan Kundli, which is known as your D1 chart. So guys, first of all I would like to tell you that the planets, the signification of planets are very important. So you should be knowing what sun is, what moon is, and what does they signify. So let's start with sun. Well, sun represents your father, sun represents your soul. So sun is a very important planet in the astrology. You have to judge the position of sun in your horoscope, so that you should be knowing whether you will be having a government job. For job purposes, for government related works, you have to judge your sun. Moon represents your mind, moon represents your mother. Moon is something which is a very important planet in astrology, because moon is your mind and moon controls your emotions and feelings. You have daily mood swings. Now that is because of the position of your moon in your horoscope. So moon is very important. Then comes Venus. Venus represents your spouse, your wife, your luxury items, your way of living your life is represented by Venus. Then comes Mars. Mars is your courage. Mars represents your siblings, your brothers, and Mars is also a significator of people who join army or police, or these kind of jobs. So Mars has to be judged. And then Saturn is there. Saturn represents your career. Saturn represents the poverty. Saturn represents the hard work, hardships, delays in every aspect of your life. If Saturn is in your 7th house, then it will delay your marriage. And moving on, there are planets like Rahu and Ketu, which are the north node of the moon and south node of the moon. They don't own any houses, so they are the shadowy planets. They impact our life in such a way that sometimes Rahu is a planet which can make you confused, and even Ketu is a planet which represents depression, spirituality, leaving certain things in your life is represented by Ketu. Letting go of is Ketu. Then comes the planet Mercury. Mercury is a planet of your intelligence. Mercury represents media. Mercury represents the mathematics. So Mercury is also considered as one of the most important planets in astrology. So these are the 9 planets. I think I have covered Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Rahu, Ketu, and Saturn. These are the planets which are considered as very important planets in astrology, and you have to see the position of these planets in your horoscope. Wherever they are placed, they will give the impact according to their nature. Also you have to see that you have to see in what nakshatra these planets are being placed, because nakshatras plays a very important role. There are 27 type of nakshatra, and each nakshatra has 4 charans or 4 padas. So guys, every nakshatra is important. Suppose I have left one planet, that is Jupiter. Jupiter represents your teacher. Jupiter represents your religion, the religious activities, and Jupiter is the significator of your the amount of wealth which you will be having. So Jupiter is also one of the most important planets. Then I was on nakshatra. So nakshatra, there are 27 nakshatras, 4 charan every nakshatra have, and suppose for example your Jupiter is sitting in the nakshatra of Rahu, so you know your Jupiter will behave like Rahu sometimes. So nakshatras plays a very important role. If suppose Jupiter is in the nakshatra of your sun, then you have to look at the position of sun, where your sun is placed, where your Jupiter is placed. Then you have to link all these things to come to a conclusion. Further moving on, you also have to see the mahadashas of in astrology. There are different type of mahadashas running on a person. There are so many events happening in a life of a person that sometime it's good, it's bad, or it's a mixture of both. So this is because of the dashas which we are going through. There are char dasha, yogini dasha, nakshatra dashas, vimshotri dashas, and in vimshotri dasha there are 2 more parts, antar dasha and pratyantar dasha. So you have to judge every aspect in terms of reading a birth chart. And also I have made some videos on dashas, mahadashas, what antardasha is, what pratyantar dasha is, what vimshotri mahadasha is. So you can see all those my videos on my YouTube channel, and you will get to know about the aspect of astrology, how different things, different concepts in astrology we should be applying to a single horoscope. Also guys, you should be knowing what conjunctions are. Well, conjunction is something when 2 or more planets are sitting together in a single house, that is conjunction. So there is a possibility that more than 2 planets, 3 planets, 4, 5, 6 planets can be together, and you have to notice their degrees of attachment, how much degree they are closer. When a planet is closer to a 5 degree, there is a difference of 5 degree between 2 planets, then you can say it is a very strong conjunction. More than 5 degrees, it is a very kind of a very not so much a strong conjunction, but you can say that it is a conjunction which will give results, but not of there will be not full impact of those conjunctions in your life. You have to see the cancellation of yogas in your horoscope. Rahu and Ketu are always sitting 180 degrees apart. They cannot be together in a horoscope. So you have to judge where your Rahu is, where your Ketu is, in what nakshatras they are sitting, because Rahu Ketu doesn't own any kind of houses, so they will behave like that particular planet in which they are sitting. You also have to judge that what is the aspects in astrology. Saturn aspects any planet, any house with its 3rd aspect, 7th aspect, and 10th aspect. So you have to see the aspects in astrology, what planets are aspecting which houses, and what other planets. You have to see the aspects, conjunctions, dashas, nakshatras, position of houses, position of planets. You also have to see the different divisional charts. I have made a video on divisional charts, D9, D10. You can see all those my videos in my YouTube channel, then you will get to know about what divisional charts are. But here we are focusing on D1 chart, which is your Janam Lagan Kundli, or you can say your birth chart. So guys, you have to notice each and every aspect of planets, houses, and their degrees of placement in a horoscope. Then you can reach to the final conclusion that if you are judging the wealth of a person, then you have to look 2nd house, you have to look 11th house, you have to look the house of expenditure, which is the 12th house. You have to look for the planets, the karkas, the significators for your wealth in your horoscope. You also have to look different divisional charts. Then these are the things which you should notice while judging a birth chart. So these are very basics, you know. These are the things which you should be knowing of. You also have to you also have to be aware of other concepts in astrology. I'll be making more videos on different topics in astrology, what Raj Yogas are, what Dhan Yogas are, what are the Lakshmi houses, what are the Vishnu houses, what are the Trig Bhavs. Well, Trig Bhavs are 6, 8 and 12th houses. These are considered as bad houses which will give bad results. So these are the small things which you should be knowing of. Then how to interpret all these things, that is the main concern. That is the main thing which will tell you that so that you can reach to a final conclusion while judging your own horoscope or someone else's horoscope. So guys, this was my observation on how to read a birth chart part 2. See my more videos on my YouTube channel and stay tuned with my channel. You can subscribe my channel. Guys, thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you.